Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to this video. Today is Thursday, and I want to talk to you guys a little bit about making tough decisions. Now, I don't know about you, but it's always a little bit tough to make tough decisions. That's why they call it tough decisions. And so, but right now in this journey of our life, in this season during COVID, we are making a ton of tough decisions all the time. Do we shut down? Do we stay open? Do we wear masks, not wear masks? Do we, all kinds of tough decisions. Do we, even as a home, do we pull our kids out and, do homeschool? Do we, whatever, all kinds of, so tough decisions. A lot of people this time of year are thinking about transition in terms of employment and work. Do we continue to stay where we're at? Do we look for something new? And so a lot of tough decisions. And so how do you make those decisions? Well, I've been asked that quite a bit recently. And so I was listening to a podcast with Andy Stanley about this topic because he just wrote a new book. And I thought I'd share it with you guys, some thoughts from that podcast, from the book. And so a couple of things that he says is this. Number one, the first question that you should be asking is really a question about integrity. The question is this, is why am I doing this really? And he said that's the big question is really, right? Why am I doing this really? Because it's really easy for us to lie to ourselves. It's really easy for us to overlook our true motives. And so he goes in and says, why do I want to buy this car? Really? Why do I want to transition out of my church? Really? Why do I want to whatever it might be, really? And that question really is causing us to dive in deeper, right? And not just the surface level. Oh, it's a cool car. Oh man, I want to try something new. No, but really, what is that deeper motivation? Truly checking your integrity. Are you doing it for the right reason? Are you doing it for reasons that matter? Are you doing it for reasons that are God honoring? And so a tough question to ask. And one that I think takes some time. I think it takes some real soul searching. I think it takes some real time to dive in and say, what am I really doing here? And it's tough. So another question, he calls this the legacy question. And this is one I think is so important for us right now. And it's called the legacy question because the question is what story do I want to tell? What story do I want to tell? And he goes in to say this, that, when you get a little bit older, you will be able to summarize your entire high school years, 4 years of your life, you'll be able to summarize high school in one or two sentences. 4 years of your life in college, you'll be able to summarize in one or two sentences. And so he says, look at this season, COVID, transition, whatever it might be. Look at this season and ask yourself, what do I want to say about this season? Maybe you're going through a tough relationship, right? He used the example of a divorce, right? How do you want to explain that divorce? What do you want to say about that? Hey, I did everything I can. And we tried everything that we could. I fought for this. Do you want to speak highly of that situation, that marriage? So how do you want to speak about that story? So COVID, what do you want to say? Oh, it was terrible. It was horrible. It was the worst thing. Or do you want to say something positive and say, man, God did some great things in my life. I learned a lot of things about God. I was able to share with people. Our family grew closer because we were trapped at home, right? We had to spend time. So what is it at the end of this time, at the end of this season, what is it that you want to say about this story? What do you want to say about this transition, about this tough decision? Like you buy an expensive car and you're paying off, do you want to say, oh man, it was an impulse buy. Man, I don't know why I bought that. What do you want to say about it? That's another question. Another question he talks about is the conscious question. The question is this, is there a tension that deserves my attention? Is there a tension that deserves my attention? And this one takes some unpacking to really dive into, but really, Are all of those gut feelings taken care of? Or when you're talking about transition of your job, is there this sinking gut feeling that just doesn't feel right? When you're accepted a job, or you're offered a job, is there this gut feeling, this check in your spirit that just says, I don't know about this, right? Even though maybe on paper it looks right, maybe all of these things look right, but there's just this gut feeling inside that there's a little bit of a tension inside that says, hey, you should think about this a little bit more. Are all of those gone and you feel confident about it? The next one here is the maturity question. The maturity question is this, is what is the wise thing to do? Okay, now that is a tough question, because what is the mature thing to do? And he says this, based on my past experiences, based on my current circumstances, and based on my desired future. So what is the wise thing to do based on my past experiences, my current circumstances, my future that I desire? So for example, it might be wise for one person to go and purchase a home, right? Because financially they're stable, they have a stable income, they have a stable salary that is above what their home is going to require. And maybe that's wise for them. But for you, it's not wise. So it's based on your past. Maybe, for example, you've really struggled with, alcohol, right? And so it's not wise for you to go into that environment where you might be tempted to fall back into that. So it's wise based on your past, your current, and your future. The next one is the relationship question. And the question is this: what does love require of me? What does love require me? And love requires sacrifice. And so what does it require me? Does it require me to lay down my desires, to lay down my wants, to lay down a little bit of even going through a hard time for this season, because that's what God has asked me to do. So what does love require of me? So this is taken from Andy Stanley's new book called Better Questions, Fewer Regrets. Would encourage you guys to jump on, take a look at it. And these are some good questions to help you get through some tough decisions. So I know we're all making tough decisions right now. So I just pray that you guys would dive into these 5 questions and see how they help you. And have a great day. We'll see you guys.